What's going on, everyone? It's JTLive and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings. And this is the special one. This is the big one. It is transfer deadline day. The biggest day in transfer news history. And Leeds United are on the brink. I repeat, on the brink of magic. I know I've said it so many times this transfer window. Today is the day Leeds finally sign a player, but today will be the day. I can feel it in my loins. They are tingling. And oh my days, let's just get straight into all this news and all this action that is popping off today. It is crazy. The first story is around Luis Sinisterra. And apparently, Leeds could be getting quite a big influx of cash if Bournemouth are to seal the deal today. Obviously, Leeds have loaned them out. They have a £20 million option to buy Sinisterra from Leeds. However, if Leeds are to get promoted, which there is a slight possibility of that happening, then that possibility of signing him goes kaput. It goes away. Does that mean Leeds are going to want him if we got promoted? I mean, first of all, let's get promoted before we start talking about all these hypotheticals. But nonetheless, it does seem like they want to do this. Now, my only pushback on this is it's too little, too late. You know, an hour late and a dollar short, in my opinion. You're coming in, you're trying to sign him permanently, you're trying to give us the money up front now before the end of the season. Well, had you done this at the beginning of the transfer window, had you come in like this on January 1st, then I would have been like, I would have been ears to it. I would have been all ears to it. I would have been like, you know what, let's make this happen. You want him. I don't think he's really going to ever come back to Leeds the way he tried to sue the club and everything like that. I don't think that's ever going to happen. So, you know what? Take him now. Give us the 20 million and we can invest that elsewhere into the squad. But it's deadline day. So even if we do get £20 million for him, or however much they're willing to pay to take him now, we're not going to be able to reinvest that anywhere else. It's too late to use that money. So, you know, it's not going to help us this season. Like, maybe it'll help us next season, but even then, if we were to get promoted in this hypothetical, then, I mean, £20 million isn't going to make all much difference anyway. But listen, I don't know. It's too late for this kind of money, in my opinion. If we'd have got it in the 1st of January and would have been able to reinvest it and help us in the immediate term, then I would have been all ears. But unfortunately, that is a little bit too late. And instead, because we don't have that Sinisterra money, we're looking at players like this, like Paul Dummett. I can't believe this is apparently a story. Leeds United plot deadline day swoop for Newcastle United. Well, how can they call him a star, mate? This is not a Newcastle United star. He is a man who features for Newcastle United. He is not a star, but it is Paul Dummett. He's out of contract at the end of the season. Hasn't started a Premier League match for Newcastle in 2 years, but Leeds and Championship promotion rivals Ipswich are eyeing a late deadline day deal for the defender. Terrible deal. Terrible news. It's not going to happen. I don't know where that's coming from, but it is not going to happen. I will chalk that off right here, right now. And speaking of other deals that are not going to happen, Hashioka, again, there are more stories, more information every single day dripping in and out about Hashioka, obviously to do with his injury, which blocked Leeds' deal for him in the first point. There were some quotes coming out of it. It was a strange one that I got in touch with someone who I was pretty sure would know, and he says he's going to the Premier League and signing for Luton. That was gone before it materialised publicly, but the story they told me from the Leeds end was that they really liked him. They were very tempted to do it, started getting paperwork together. He got an ankle injury in a game in Belgium, and we were worried about the risk of reoccurrence. The message was they needed players they could count on to come into the team immediately, Hay said. Now, very smart move from Leeds. We already had the situation with Djed Spence. We got it, you know. We signed the loaned injured player. He was injured for 90+% of his time at Leeds and hasn't contributed absolutely anything to us and was a complete waste of time because we let him go the second he got fit. So, unfortunately, you know, it wasn't meant to be with Hashioka, and I can understand why the club didn't go that way. But it seems like they aren't giving up in the pursuit of a fullback because Connor Roberts is back on the table. This name has gone quiet as a church mouse over the past couple of months, but A couple of weeks, sorry. But Connor Roberts is back on the lips of Leeds United fans, and Phil Hay is reporting that January exits for Luke Ayling, Leo Hill, Djed Spence and Jack Jenkins have allowed Leeds United to free up the wages ahead of a deadline day deal for Connor Roberts. The Athletic journalist clarified that while Jenkins and Hill would have been on big money deals, Spence and Ayling's departures would enable the club to go for deals before the deadline day. Ayling, specifically having spent a long time at Ellen Road, would likely be on a high wage, while a percentage of Spence's Tottenham wage would also have made a dent in Leeds' budget. Listen, we let a lot more players than that go, so we really should have a lot of money to splash around. We should have a lot more money to splash around to bring in a couple of signings, not just this. But that is big news, at least, that Leeds are back in the hunt for him. And it's not just him that is, it's not just Phil Hay that is coming in with his 2 pence on the situation. Mr. Vincent Kompany has also come out and admitted that the player needs to leave to get more playing time. So he's not doing Manuel Benson and forcing him to stay at the club. He's saying, listen, we need to get him out of there. And we need to get him playing some regular first-team football. And Phil Hay backs this up with a tweet saying Leeds United have agreed a loan deal for Burnley's Connor Roberts, straight loan to the end of the season, set to travel for a medical and sign ahead of tonight's deadline. Now we're cooking, boys. Now we are cooking. It's good reinforcement. Was it the name I wanted initially? No, but you know, a beggar cannot be a chooser. And at the moment, we're all beggars as Leeds fans. We want some deals done, and we want them done now. And this is being backed up everywhere. There's reports flying out left, right, and centre that Leeds have agreed a deadline day deal for Connor Roberts. We're just waiting for him to secure his medical and go over there and waiting to see all the planes and all of that stuff going crazy. And just finally, Ryan Kent has ditched Leeds United, and he is no longer going to be joining Leeds United after a move to Lazio was now touted for his deadline day move. Not a lot of stories we heard about it, but as you know, every transfer window, there's going to be some Ryan Kent Leeds United stories. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. It is money back guaranteed with that guy. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. For now, guys, I will see you very, very shortly because there is so much to cover today. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be over at Joe Blackburn. I'm going to be over at Joe Weber. We're going to be all over the gaff today. There's a lot to talk about. So, listen, make sure you stay locked and loaded. Subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. For now, guys, I will see you very, very soon. And for all my brothers and my sisters.